guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, back again to do another NHL 18 Team of the Year predictions video, where today we're going to be focusing in on the Defensive Team of the Year. So if you guys missed my last predictions video where we have done the Offensive Team of the Year, which is the last one to come out in the game, make sure you guys go down to the description and check that video out. Also, make sure to leave a like on your way as well. Let's try to get this one up above 100 likes. So since our last predictions video, we've actually had some new information come out about what to expect for the next 3 Team of the Years, which would be Defensive, Young Guns, and the Offensive. And we've already had the Community Team of the Year come out as well. So what we have found out is that there's pretty much only going to be one Team of the Year that each player will be able to appear on. No players will be making an appearance on multiple Team of the Years. And we have also found out that for the Defensive, Young Guns, and Offensive Team of the Years, they're going to be going back to last year's theme of running with 3 forward lines of NHL players, 2 pairs of NHL defensemen, and 1 NHL goalie, meaning that the 4th line, the 3rd pair defense, and the backup goaltender will all be coming from leagues outside of the NHL, which kind of helps out when we narrow down our search, because we really only have to narrow it down to 9 forwards, 4 defensemen, and 1 goaltender for each of these selections. So without further ado, let's dive into who I believe is going to make the Defensive Team of the Year, starting with the forwards. And I mean, you can't go wrong starting with this guy. Patrice Bergeron, I think, is almost a shoo-in. He hasn't played as many games as he had in previous years. I think he's only around mid-50s for games played. But you can't have a Defensive Team of the Year without Patrice Bergeron on it, unless barring a major injury happens or he is just playing absolutely god-awful this year. Patrice Bergeron is always a player who will be in the Selke nomination every single year until he becomes a grizzled old veteran. Patrice Bergeron is that good of a defensive type forward of a player, and it's going to take a really, really strong season from some other player in the National Hockey League in order to dethrone the Patrice Bergeron trophy from him. And honestly, it might not be that long until we have to wait for somebody to take that reign from him, but for now, Bergeron is still one of, if not the best defensive forward and center in the league. He has a face-off percentage, I think, of around 57% this year as well. So, I mean, Patrice Bergeron is a shoo-in, even though he's missed a couple games this year, still. Okay, so next up, I'm going to move to my Philadelphia Flyers, Sean Couturier, or should I say Sean Selke Couturier. I don't think he'll be taking that trophy away from Bergeron, but he has made a case for himself this year without a doubt. 68 points so far this year. He's 1 goal away from the 30-goal mark. I believe it'll be the first time in his career that he will hit the 30-goal mark. He's still only like, what, 25, 26 years old, which is absolutely crazy. Doesn't take that many penalty minutes, only 25 on the year. He's a plus 28. He's 3rd in the National Hockey League for forwards for timeout on the ice, around 21.5 minutes of time on the ice. Face-offs around 53, 54%. So, I mean, Sean Couturier is just having himself a hell of a season. Moving Sean Couturier to the center and moving Claude Giroux to his wing and actually putting good line mates with Sean Couturier really allowed him to have this breakout season that he did. I kept saying it year in and year out as a Flyers fan. You give Sean Couturier good line mates, he will deliver, and without a doubt, he has delivered this year, and he's going to be giving Patrice Bergeron a run for his money for sure for that Selke trophy. Okay, so next up, another center from the Los Angeles Kings, Anze Kopitar. You know, I really didn't notice Kopitar at all at the beginning of this season. I really don't think he had that strong of a start to this season, but man, he picked it up big time the back half here as the LA Kings trying to force their way into a playoff spot, and a comfortable playoff spot for sure. He's up to 81 points already right now in 73 games played, 29 goals, 52 assists, so he's 1 goal away from the 30-goal mark as well. He is 2nd in the NHL right now for time on the ice, around 22 minutes, 1.11 points per game, very disciplined as well. Only 16 penalty minutes on the year. He's a plus 16. He's great on the power play. He's great on the penalty kill. He knows how to get it done as well. I believe he has 6 game-winning goals on the year as well. Face-offs around 54%. So, you know, Anze Kopitar really picked it up here at the back half of the season, and without a doubt, I think he is definitely deserving to be on the Defensive Team of the Year as well. And honestly, it might just be the Sean Couturier, Anze Kopitar, and Patrice Bergeron show for that Selke trophy this year, because I believe those 3 were the 3 nominations last year, if I do remember correctly, and honestly, they could very well be the nominations this year once again. Okay, so next up from the Florida Panthers, I am definitely thinking Alexander Barkov is going to make the defensive team of the year as well. 71 points on the year, 26 goals, 45 assists, +7, only 14 penalty minutes on the year, which is good. He has a takeaway giveaways average of 1.3, which is really, really nice. He blocks actually a good bit of shots as well, 56 block shots. He leads all NHL forwards for timeout on the ice with 22 minutes and 18 seconds. That's, I believe, 13 seconds ahead of what Kopitar does. Faceoffs, 54%, which is pretty good, a little bit over Kopitar's as well. But 5 short-handed goals on the year so far, which leads the entire NHL in short-handed goals. Guy just knows how to get it done on the penalty kill, and those 5 short-handed goals are nothing to snuff at. Players are lucky if they get 5 short-handed goals in an entire career, and he's had 5 so far this entire season. And he's trying to help Florida creep into a wild card spot. So next up, I believe Ryan O'Reilly will definitely make the defensive team of the year. Buffalo has not had a great season at all, but Ryan O'Reilly has been a very, very bright spot for this team, only because of his faceoffs. Out of all players in regards to games played and amount of faceoffs taken this year, Ryan O'Reilly leads the NHL with a 60.8 faceoff percentage. Almost 61% Ryan O'Reilly has won faceoffs this year. He's also 7th in the NHL for forwards for time out on the ice, or almost up to 21 minutes on time on the ice. I think he actually might be one of the top players in the league for shifts per game too. Yeah, he's 6th in the NHL for shifts per game. So just those faceoffs alone, winning faceoffs are a huge part of a defensive player's game in the NHL. And honestly, the more you win faceoffs, the more chance you give your team offensive opportunities, and when you're trapped in your own zone, winning those faceoffs will really help take some pressure off your defense, off your goaltender, and I think Ryan O'Reilly does that for the Sabres, despite how terrible they may be. But Ryan O'Reilly definitely deserves to be on the team of the year and have a very nice faceoff rating. Okay, so next up from the Ottawa Senators, I have Mark Stone making the team of the year. He's actually leading the Ottawa Senators in points right now, 62, 20 goals, 42 assists. Mark Stone is definitely a pesky player if you guys have ever watched your team play the Ottawa Senators. I know in past years and this year as well, Mark Stone is one hell of a pestering, annoying player to deal with, considering that he does take the puck away a lot. 59 takeaways so far this year, which is actually, I think, a league. It's up there at top 10, I think, for takeaways for forwards. 39 block shots on the year. 53 hits is also a very good number there for forwards. Yeah, it doesn't take penalty minutes at all. It doesn't take penalties at all. Only 10 penalty minutes on the year, which is good. +9. I believe he was on the defensive team of the year last year, so I definitely think Mark Stone has a chance to be up there once again. 20 minutes of time on the ice per game, which is near top 10 in the league. Once again, Ottawa has not been a great team this year, but he's still getting it done. On the penalty kill, he does get it done on the penalty kill as well. I believe he has 2 shorthanded points, 1 shorthanded goal on the year. So I definitely think Mark Stone has a chance to be up on the defensive team of the year. Now, next up, this one may surprise you a little bit. Jeff Skinner is going to be on this list only because of his takeaways. He leads the NHL right now for forwards for takeaways. I believe he has like 89 on the year, which is completely ridiculous. I think only him and Connor McDavid are up near the top for takeaways. The Evos were not very good at all this week, but I have a feeling that they did that for a very, very specific reason, because some of these guys may be getting huge boosts to their Evo cards, and Jeff Skinner and Ryan O'Reilly were both 2 players who were up on the Evos this week, and I honestly think they may get very decent upgrades for their cards. So I think Jeff Skinner might be up there on the defensive team of the year only for those takeaways, but still, those takeaways help generate offense, and Skinner definitely knows how to do that, even though he's only playing on the 3rd line. I would know, I have him in fantasy, but still, takeaways generate offense, and it's definitely a consideration for defensive team of the year. Okay, so these last 2 spots are really, really difficult for me to choose for forwards, but I actually am going to go with Brad Marchand and Jamie Benn. Now, I know Brad Marchand has a chance to be on the offensive team of the year without any question. I mean, guy is just absolutely killing it this year. What is Brad Marchand's point totals? Yeah, he's up to 75 points, 31 goals, 44 assists. Plus 31, which is really, really good. That might actually be near the top for all forwards. Yeah, it's right behind William Karlsson and Riley Smith in Vegas for 31. So he's third in the NHL for plus minus 55 penalty minutes. But you know, Brad Marchand's a pest anyway, so it's not going to surprise people at all. 3 shorthanded points so far this year. Jamie Benn too. He's a great penalty killer for the Dallas Stars. He actually can throw hits out there as well. I don't have either of these guys' stats in front of me right now, but I definitely think those are only the other 2 options I was thinking about. There really weren't many other players who I definitely think could be up there for Defensive Team of the Year. Jonathan Marchessault might be up there. I'm not really sure who else could be in there. Dustin Brown, he had a very, very good year, really good resurgence of a year, so he might be actually up there for Defensive Team of the Year. Vincent Trocheck could be up there. He's got like 66 points. Getzlaf won't be up there, but if Scheifele played a couple more games this year, he might have been considered up there as well. Tyler Seguin, you can maybe throw up in there. Blake Wheeler, but I think he'd be more offensively minded. Those were just some of the other options I had, but I think if I had to narrow it down to 2 more players, I think Jamie Benn and Brad Marchand might make defensive. If Brad Marchand doesn't make defensive, then I would think he makes offensive Team of the Year. All right, so let's move on to the defense now, and starting off with this man, Ryan Suter, leads the NHL as he normally does every single year in timeout on the ice for defensemen. 26, almost 27 minutes per game is Ryan Suter logging for the Minnesota Wild. It's honestly ridiculous how long he stays out there on the ice. 49 points so far this year, great. Plus minus not been kind to him, a -1. 22 power play points, he's a force on the power play, he's a force on the penalty kill. How many hits does Suter have this year? He has 127 blocked shots. Doesn't really give the puck away all too much, only 34 giveaways for 73 games played, which is actually really good for a defenseman as well. He knows how to move the puck well. Honestly, the minutes that Ryan Suter logs out there, he just takes a lot of pressure off of other players on defense for the Minnesota Wild, and you know, it's without question that Ryan Suter makes on the Defensive Team of the Year. All right, so next up I have Drew Doughty from the Los Angeles Kings making the Defensive Team of the Year. He could arguably be up there for Offensive Team of the Year as well, because he's been on a nice little stretch as the LA Kings have been. 54 points on the year. 50 penalty minutes is a lot for Drew Doughty, to say the least. I never thought he was that guy to take a lot of penalty minutes, but plus 17 on the year. Second in the NHL for timeout on the ice for defensemen with 26 minutes. He's only 6 seconds behind Ryan Suter for time on the ice average, which is pretty magnificent to say the least. I didn't know Drew Doughty was actually out there on the ice that long as well for the LA Kings, but Drew Doughty's not as good defensively as Ryan Suter is, in my opinion, but without a doubt, he's like leagues and beyond better offensively than he is. 111 block shots, 119 hits, it's 1.6 hits per game. Has been giving the puck away a lot this year, though, 74 giveaways, so I mean, that's a little bit sketchy there for Drew Doughty, but still is one of the best defensemen in the NHL, so I think he'll make Team of the Year as well. Now, I know I mentioned him for my Offensive Team of the Year, but I still think Victor Hedman may make the Defensive Team of the Year. If he doesn't make offensive, once again, he should make Defensive Team of the Year. Tampa Bay Lightning are the best team in the NHL, and Victor Hedman is a huge part of that. Once again, there is his stats from the previous video, and like I mentioned last time, offensively wise, Victor Hedman is just as good defensively wise. 5th in the NHL for defensemen for timeout on the ice, with roughly around 26 minutes out there. Great on the power play, great on the penalty kill. He's got 119 hits, which is 1.8 hits per game, which is more than both Doughty and Suter have, which is really, really nice. And honestly, a plus 26, 42 penalty minutes. Yeah, Victor Hedman should definitely be on Defensive Team of the Year. Now, I only have to pick one more player, so I might as well name some of my snubs. I actually had Morgan Riley, Nate Schmidt, Robert Haig I had up there as well, only because, well, for one reason, because Radko Gudas was on the Defensive Team of the Year last year, and honestly, he was probably only up there because of hits. So Robert Haig leads the NHL in hits, so I would not be surprised to see him up there, but if it's only 4 players, I definitely think Haig wouldn't be up there, so I had to narrow it down to Jacob Slavin, Alex Pietrangelo, and Roman Josi, who I think should be considered up there for Defensive Team of the Year. So I think I will go and give the edge to Alex Pietrangelo, 7th in the NHL for timeout on the ice. He has 50 points on the year, plus 11, 20 penalty minutes. Blues have not looked hot as of recently, but still, Pietrangelo is one of the main reasons why that defense is really, really good there in St. Louis. So I'll give the edge to Pietrangelo, but I can see Slavin or Roman Josi making that squad as well. And then lastly, we have to pick one goaltender. So you know what? I'll go with the Vezina Trophy candidate, Pekka Rinne, who should definitely win the Vezina Trophy this year. I'll save Andrei Vasilevsky for the Offensive Team of the Year. Since both Marc-Andre Fleury and Tuukka Rask made the Community Team of the Year, I think that Pekka Rinne will definitely make the Defensive Team of the Year, as he's definitely one of the leading candidates to win that Vezina Trophy. So there you go, guys. There are my thoughts for the Defensive Team of the Year. Once again, you guys will feel free to disagree with me in the comments section down below, but please be nice to each other. Let me know why I'm right and why I am wrong and who you think I snubbed out for this list. I know there's going to be a ton of players I snubbed out for this list, but let me know why and let me know who down in the comment section down below. Next up, we will be doing the last one, which would be the Young Guns Team of the Year, and that one should be a little bit easier to do because we actually will have a restriction when regarding the Young Guns, because we'll only be looking at players who are on entry-level contracts. So, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys next time for our Young Guns Team of the Year predictions.